Enterprise Stories is the weekly radio program that shares the experiences of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs and provides expert analysis of their success factors. Enterprise Stories, business stories of success.
Good day, listeners. Welcome to the 29th episode of the Enterprise Stories. My name is Olawale Anifowoshe, your host. This episode will share a story of an MBA project brought to life. And in our teaching segment, Dr. Joe will discuss business goal setting. But before we start, let's take a quick message from our sponsors.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from StanbicIBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from StanbicIBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
StanbicIBTC Bank, moving forward.
Our teaching segment now is going to deal with business goal setting. Any business, for that matter, even including individuals, the moment you are trying to get anything done, you are actually trying to achieve a goal set for yourselves. Now, for businesses, there are three main segments of goal setting. I will take the vision, and then I will follow it with the mission, and then we deal with the operational goals, operational objectives, that is commonly called. Any organization that decides to get involved in business activities, the very first thing that directs all its actions and all its activities is setting the vision of the business. Now, vision is the longest term goals in any organization. Depending on the size and the industry any business operates, it can be as long as 1 year, it can be as long as 5, 10, 20. Some also go as far, up to 25 years, looking at where they want to be. And goals generally is actually where an organization wants to be or what it wants to achieve in the future. And now, what guides goal is that it must be smart. It must be smart. That means you must be clear, specific. The first S represents specific. You must be specific in your goal. Then it is followed by, this goal must be measurable. Otherwise, you wouldn't know whether you are making progress or not. Then it must be achievable. In other words, something must excite you to continue to push to achieve the goal. The other R is representing realistic. It must be realistic with a time frame. What we are talking about here is the goal, the vision that we want to achieve, say, in 10 years' time, must be clear. For instance, I want to be in the league of 10 billion naira turnover in the next 5 years. Then you can see that is measurable. So if you go anything less than 10 billion, you can now know. It must also be achievable in the sense that, it's not that today you are doing 200,000 naira and you know that you don't have a chance of even making 500,000 naira in the next 3 years. You are saying the next 5 years you're going to achieve 10 billion. Obviously, it's not a realistic goal, which the next R is representing. The time frame also could be wrong. But what I want to say, listeners, about the issue of a smart condition for any goal is that organizations should not embark on an ambition. Corporate goals are not ambition. It's not to say, no, since my other competing company is in the 10 billion naira range, then you say, oh no, since the human beings are there, I must attain 10 billion. That's not it. It's not issue of courage. Since men can do it, I'll do it. Prayers will not take you there. All right? There are, something like personal aggrandizement will not take you there when you're talking about goal setting. Goal setting has to do with, do you have what it takes? Management knowledge and skill? Do you have the financial capacity? Can you really compete in the industry you are in? Can you manage other people? Do you understand the policy and the business environment in where you are operating? That is for the long term. Yeah, the second segment is the mission of the business or of the organization, and that is, why are you in the business? What will your customer remember you for? That is the mission of any business. If that is not there, then your mission will not be achieved. Now, once you are clear of your mission, then the operational objective, the daily operating goal or objective becomes very clear. What do I do on daily basis or on weekly basis or on monthly basis in order to achieve my mission? All right. In the first place, if Nigeria is going for a competition, a sports competition, say in the Olympics, what will Nigeria be remembered for in the Olympics? Is it long distance? Is it short? Is it track and field? Is it football? Like, for instance, if such a competition is taking place and Brazil is going, that the common knowledge, the mission of Brazil is soccer, or football as we call it here in Nigeria. That is how organizations operate. The product that takes you to your mission in any business is your mission. And that is what makes you to be able to set up an operation objective, which is generally called operating goal, on daily basis, on weekly basis, on monthly basis, to be able to succeed in your business. So goal setting is something that is done diligently, carefully, and with all the resources required, and with all the hope of making progress put together to be able to set goals. It's a complex thing, but that's what most SMEs have to be careful about, because that is the roadmap to success. Thank you.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from StanbicIBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from StanbicIBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
StanbicIBTC Bank, moving forward.
Welcome, listeners, to the Story of the Day segment. In the studio with us today is Dr. MK Balogun, the MD of WSP FMC Nigeria Limited. Dr. Balogun, you're welcome to Enterprise Stories.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, very, very quickly. I'm very interested. I used to know you as Dome Facilities Limited, but now you're WSP. What has changed?
As a company, when we started 2007, our dream was not to be a local company. Our dream is to be an international big organization. The business we run is a service business, and in service business, competence, capacity, just like Doctor mentioned, is very important. Capacity for what you're able to deliver to the client is what customers are looking for. And in an industry that is not the Nigerian industry, WSP Facility started over 30 years in the US and Europe and America. In Nigeria, we're probably about 10 years down the line. And for us to grow as a business, we need to integrate ourselves with companies who have been in the industry for so long, who understand the industry, who are one of the best in the world. And when we started, that was at the back of our mind, that we'll start the business, and as we go along, developing ourselves, establishing ourselves locally, we'll look for partners that we'll work with. And in 2012, February, we merged with WSP FMC Nigeria. WSP FMC Nigeria has been in Nigeria as the first FM company in Nigeria, 2000. And it was started by some Nigerians who also have the same passion with us. They are in different businesses and professions related to the construction and real estate industry. And 4 years down the line, they brought in WSP to Nigeria to partner with them. And so in 2012, we also joined to build one of the biggest FM companies in Africa, not only in Nigeria.
Okay, that's very interesting. You also told me off air that by the end of the month, your name is going to change again. But I'm not going to dive into that now. I would like to take you back a few years. When you were still Dome Facilities, how did it all start? Where did they start from?
Well, very interesting. I did my MBA at Lagos Business School. My final year project was to set up a facilities management company. And during the course of the project, my colleagues and myself decided right from day one that at the end of the project, at the end of the course of our program, we're actually going to bring the company to life. Rather than just submit a project and go home, we're going to make it a live company, a live business. We finished in 2006, and in September 2007, we incorporated Dome Facilities Management Company, including two of my ex-colleagues at the MBA who are project partners, supported very well by one cost advisor, Dr. Doyin Salami, up to now. Even right from day one, we mentioned to him that this was our dream to not just do a project and walk away, and right all through, it's been always been supportive. So that's the beginning of our story. Okay. We started in 2007. We registered. I was working with UBA then. Shortly after starting the company, 5 months down the line, I left UBA with the intention of starting fully. I got another job, which I had to go and run for another year, while the company was running by the side. I volunteered out of the 4 of us that started to run the business fully. The others are involved in other businesses. One person is in oil and gas, the other person is in banking, while the other person is an engineer. But the reason why 4 of us came together was that we have different competencies that we can bring to bear into the business. And it's been worth the while. It's been interesting. It was difficult at the beginning, starting a business in an industry that there are very few people who understand exactly what you do. Part of our greatest challenge as a business starting were two. One was that our clients, most of our clients, especially except the multinationals, do not understand exactly what we're talking about. The second is that the ability to find the right people to work with you was also a major challenge. And, we were able to address the two. One, we instituted a training program in the company where we train and develop young people. The second is that we started talking to customers at every opportunity that we have. I had the session at ABS Alumni. We organized the first facility management exhibition in Africa, in West Africa, by the way, in 2010, where we created awareness, a 3 days program in partnership with some of our friends. 3 days awareness program, lectures and seminars on facilities, bringing people from both outside Nigeria and in Nigeria to talk to people about FM. So that's our short story.
Okay, anyone listening to you right now would be thinking that I can just get up and go and do this. In as much as it's possible to get up and do it, I would like you to share some of the experiences you've had in terms of challenges with the audience and how you've been able to turn these challenges into opportunity.
I'll classify them as two types. There are personal, there are business. Every entrepreneur needs to be ready. That's the personal. You have to be ready to face the challenges of running your own business when you're not sure where you're going to be. You're going to get customers, you're going to be paid, and you're going to survive. So that's important. You must be ready. Second, which is business. As I said, 2 basic challenges: getting customers to understand what we offer, 2, getting people to employ, and we're able to deal with them. For us, my first year as a business was a major lesson. I ran the business and I had a lot of people employed, give them all the opportunities, delegated, but I was finding the gap. There was always that gap that these guys were not living up to the expectation. And I saw my staff turnover increasing because I'm very impatient, unfortunately. When people don't live up, I don't waste time. But on the second thought, I asked myself, I'm being unfair to these guys. Do they really have what it takes to deliver what I want to deliver? And the best I can do for them is to develop them. And that's where we started internship program in the company, and get young people. We started with 3 people. One of them is abroad now. The other person stayed in the company for a long time before he left. And every time we get 3 young people, I train them, expose them to all the process of the business, send them on attachment to one of our locations to learn real practical facilities management. Then we engage them after 6 months. And that's been very, very good. The second thing we did on capacity development is that I volunteered at the University of Lagos as a lecturer when they started the Masters in Facilities Management program 4 years ago. And that has also paid off, because in every class I have students that I can employ because they've been trained. I can bring them to the business and continue training, and it's been wonderful. Wow. I said earlier also that we've done, for us, creating awareness. When the clients don't understand what you do, it is to let them know. We had the idea of starting a magazine when we started. The second was for us to start to do an exhibition and seminar, which we did in 2010. We were reported nationwide. We had lecturers from Dubai, from South Africa, and a couple of Nigerians were very good. We got people from government startup to also come and speak to us. And those are the things we've done to break the barriers.
Yes.
For us, there are things that you must face and you must live on to do.
And the newsletter is still ongoing right now.
Yes,
the newsletter you said.
Yes, we've not, because we wanted to do the newsletter, we've not been able to do it. We want to do a newsletter and an online journal for facilities management, which we are working on. We'll do it probably for the next year. Okay,
so let's talk a little about funding. How has funding been for you? Has it been a challenge for starting up or for expansion? How has it been?
Funding in our business, clients don't pay upfront because it's service. People want to see what you've done before they even say they want to start. The second challenge is that you find clients, even when you have rendered the service, to get your payments becomes a challenge. We had initial issues with funding, and basically just for us to run, because our jobs are, we can get a project, a fast management project, we're expected to deploy staffs and get materials and equipment. You need funds to do that. Most times you don't get funds from customers. Second is that if you're unfortunate to start a project and you don't get paid on time, you may run the project for 2 months with your own funds before the client start releasing funds. So both two, we had issues at the beginning, but eventually we're able to. We're not taking any loan from any bank since we started. We look for, at that time, at the beginning, we were looking for invoice discounting. We had too many conditions, so we jettisoned it. But what we've done is to work with our suppliers and ensure that we're able to meet the demands and requirements of the clients.
Okay. We've been talking about facilities management, and for a lot of people, they wonder, when you say facilities management, what specifically in terms of service to your customers are you doing in the area of facilities management? Okay,
let me use one stone to kill two birds. I've done this a couple of times on radio and TV and newspaper, educate people about facility management. Facility management is basically ensuring that everything you have in a building, you have on the road, every infrastructure functions from the day they were installed to the what you call their useful life. Every equipment has a useful life. The building has a useful life. Air conditioning has a useful life. So the job of a facility manager is to ensure that you run those equipments properly, service and maintain them when they need, repair them where they is required, and make sure that they run. We also worry about security. We worry about safety in buildings and infrastructures. So that's basically facility management. Facility managers work in hospitals, in stadiums, in government institutions, National Assembly, private companies, banks, residential apartments, a couple of estates all over the place. Facility managers are there. They're the people that worry about ensuring that you have water, ensuring that generator is serviced, and that's what we do as facility managers. Most times what we do is, as I said before, we get the project, sit with the client, agree how the project will be delivered, employ people to sit on the client side and ensure the services are done and the clients are happy about it.
Okay. In conclusion, there's so many people in facility management business today.
And we started, there were probably like 15. Now we're over 200 companies.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there's some kind of regulatory body or association that exists. For those people that are in the business and want to grow, what message would you be giving to them?
One is focus. Facility managers needs to be focused. Second is capacity building. You need to be at the top of your game to be able to ensure, because our job is service. People want to see results. People don't want to hear stories. You don't want somebody to wake up in the morning, he doesn't have water on his tap to take his bath. He will not hear any story. Or he comes out from work, there's no light in his apartment, that story. Or he comes to the office in the morning, the office is dirty. He's not going to listen to a story. You have to be on top of your game, and you have to be thorough with what you do.
Thank you. We've been listening to Dr. MKO Balogun, the CEO of WSP, and he has shared his story with us today of how he has been able to evolve from Dome facility to WSP and maintain the standards of the business. Thank you once again for coming to share your story with us today on Enterprise Stories. We'll be right back after this short break.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from StanbicIBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from StanbicIBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
StanbicIBTC Bank, moving forward.
You're tuned into the Enterprise Stories brought to you by the Enterprise Development Center of the Pan-African University.
Dr. Joe, you've heard the story. What's your take?
We all listened to Dr. Balogun about his facilities management business. We could see that he immediately, when he was rounding up his master's program in business administration, he saw an opportunity for him to team up with 3 other gentlemen together to push his goal, his personal ambition, and his personal vision of becoming one of the best facilities managers across the world. And so when they came together, the business commenced. And so for me, that is the way to go. So what else did he do in terms of, implementing his goals? He looked around and found out that there is a synergy, there is a pool of resources among the 4 of them, but something was missing. Because when you are setting a goal, there is always excess resources, and there is also always lacking resources. And they found out that they lack resources in terms of existing skill in some of the areas. And so what did he do? He had to link up with an organization outside the country to build up the required capacity and required skill to be able to push up the goal which he has set up for his organization. And he has managed this one very well. Managed this very well in the sense that in the past 4 years or so, with this approach in mind, he has continually pulled up his vision, he has pulled up his mission to the extent that in the industry itself, he's looking at himself as being among the best in the first 15 organizations, as we listened to him when he was expressing how far he has gone in the business. So he's very clear on the goal of the organization. His vision is very clear. He wants to be the best in the industry, using facilities management in almost the areas. And he says, I can pull up any skill and any I want from anywhere. And how did he do that? By leveraging one of the best facilities managing outfits in the world. I said ISS organization with a link up with. That provides a backing skill for his organization, because he doesn't want to say, look, I want to be the best, and then you don't have what it takes to be the best. So goal setting at that level, he has done very well. And he has pulled down to say, look, my daily objective, what do I do? He said, I leverage on the fact that I have opportunity to teach undergraduate students and sometimes postgraduate students and at the University of Lagos. What I now do is, having had an opportunity to teach these people, I'm able to choose who will work with me. So to achieve the operational objective, is also leveraging on his students that he has opportunity to know their capability. And this way he is driving on. And he tied up by saying, I am here to lead this industry. This industry in Nigeria is not older than 10 years, when on other claims the age is more than 30 years. I'm here, and my vision and my goal is to lead the industry, and that for me is fantastic. But like I said, in the teaching segment, it is not a guesswork. It is not a mere ambition. It is not by prayers. It is not a courage. It is all about being realistic in setting your goal, putting everything together, and that's what Dr. Balogun has done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. You've put everything into perspective for us. Listeners, we've come to the end of Enterprise Stories today. Join us same time next week. Until then, stay blessed. Join the Enterprise Development Center of the Pan-African University as we celebrate 10 years of supporting small and growing businesses in Nigeria. Log on to www.edc.edu.ng for more information. For questions and comments, please email edc@pau.edu.ng or log on to Enterprise Stories on nigeria.smetoolkit.org for useful resources and articles to help grow your business.